for just a couple minutes here this morning at 8:51. We want to welcome in Bryce Jeter from Whole Foods at the Domain.
Thanks Always great to have you here.
Yes. Coming in on this rainy morning.
Always fun to be here.
What are we doing today?
We are making meatballs today. We're going to make some beef and quinoa meatballs. So it's a little bit of a healthier spin on something that's a really nice kind of family meal.
We can appreciate that.
Yeah, and we've got some carrots and zucchini that we're going to put in there, so it's kind of a nice way to get the kids the veggies and all that. So we're just going to go ahead and dive right in. So first of all, you want to have a pan set to the side for baking and just line it with some parchment paper. I've got some 95.5 grass-fed ground beef in here, so it's super lean. It's got the grass-fed health in there.
Good.
So to just dive in, we've got one egg that we're going to do. This is going to help it kind of congeal a little bit.
Makes everything stick together.
Makes everything stick together, yeah.
And how much have you got here? You said about a pound?
This is a pound.
Okay.
Yes. And so this is one of those meals that's really great for just kind of stretching the dollar. It makes a lot. You can do so many different types of meals with it. Toss it in the fridge, break it out for later. We're going to use quinoa, so this is going to substitute the traditional breadcrumbs.
Oh.
Really nice proteins, really nice essential fats, lots of high fiber, a little bit of onion for some nice flavor.
Just some white onion?
Yes, just some white onion. This is the zucchini, so get those really nice veggies going on in there.
Yeah, I saw you grating that earlier. I like that. Makes it really light and thin, just grating the veggies.
Yeah, super easy. You can just use like a traditional cheese grater. We're going to use a little bit of garlic. We're going to use about a tablespoon of garlic.
You always need garlic.
I love
Well, especially
garlic.
in meatballs, you know?
Flavor.
Especially in meatballs, yes. Then we're going to use a little bit of ketchup. That's just kind of one of those traditional ingredients for any meatball.
So like two tablespoons?
Yeah, we're going to use about 2 tablespoons of the ketchup. And then we're going to season it. Just some really simple seasonings that you already should probably have in your house. Just like a pinch of black pepper, we're going to do that. And then a little bit of pinch of thyme. And then a little pinch of oregano. And if you want to add a little salt to it, go for it. Add some salt. And then this is the fun part. This is where it gets a little messy.
Get messy.
You just dive your hands right in there and you just mix it on up. So I came prepared today. I had some gloves.
You got the gloves.
I do.
We're letting you handle that.
Yeah, and this whole process is actually just very quick. You just kind of want to give it a nice little mash here to schmutz it around a little bit.
Yeah, schmutz it. It's a very important part.
Schmutz it, yes.
Now, do you recommend, obviously you've got a baking pan here, so do you recommend putting it in the oven or putting it on a saute pan?
I like putting it in the oven. You certainly can do it in the saute pan. I just feel like putting it in the oven makes it a little bit more even. I think it takes a little bit quicker too.
And what are we talking about in terms of oven temperature and time?
Yeah, you want to do 450 for about 15 minutes.
Oh, that's quick,
you can
really?
Go you can go all the way up to 17 if you want it a little bit more browned too. So we're going to go ahead and form the meatball. So depending on how big you want them, you can just kind of, give like a little rough pinch. You can kind of, roll it around in your hand and form it. If you're doing something like a cocktail party, you can do like really small balls.
Nice. Yes.
You can do some little cocktail meatballs. Or if you want it to look a little bit more uniform, something like an ice cream scoop is really nice. So that way they're kind of like all the same size.
Good tip there.
Yeah, so just kind of pinch them off, roll it around in your hand.
Now, you're talking about this is a great meal to stretch the dollar.
Yes.
Do I cook it and then freeze it, or do I shape it and then freeze it, take it out, thaw it? I'm real bad with those type of things.
What I would go ahead and do, what I just kind of find easier is go ahead and shape it, and then if you know you're not maybe going to use it right away, you can toss it in the fridge, you can toss it in the freezer. That way when you take it out and you de-thaw it, it's already shaped, it's already done. All you have to do is just pop it on your pan, pop it in the oven, and it's good to go.
You've got a good leftover idea here, though, where you could do the meatballs for dinner, maybe have a side dish, and then you got leftovers, turn them into sandwiches for lunch the next day.
Right.
A meatball sub. I mean, who doesn't like that?
Meatball sub, and that's what I'm saying. Like, these are things that kids really love that you can kind of like sneak those veggies into, get them those healthy things.
Put it on spaghetti with some sauce.
Right.
They're never going to know.
Yeah, we can move over here and we can just do like a little bit of spaghetti and then just kind of like toss nice little sauce on there. And then if you want, just like toss a couple of meatballs on there.
Perfect.
And you've got super healthy spaghetti and meatballs, or if you've got some leftover bread going on, you can just toss a little sauce in there with your meatballs, make a little meatball sub. Last night I enjoyed them with a little bit of sriracha, just kind of like spice them up a little bit, just put some sriracha on there, ate it with a fork, it was lovely. So there's lots of things you can do that stretches the dollar. I mean, as you can see, we're already making lots of meatballs here.
And
We've got
some
tons more. Yeah, so this is something that really goes a long way, super healthy, easy to do.
I love it. Great idea, Bryce.
Yes.
Thanks so much for coming in.
Of course. Thank you for having me.
Yeah.